All right, we are through year 5 of the San Jose Sharks rebuild, and here is the scenario. We have made the Stanley Cup final twice in 5 years, which is phenomenal given the current state of the San Jose Sharks entering this season in real life. We stuck with Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who retired early, thankfully, and Erik Karlsson. However, he's got 1 year left at $11 million, and that is going to make this year extremely tricky because there is a lot of top-end free agents on our team that we've got to re-sign. But this is going to be year 6. We're going 6 years in. Now is the time. We have got to get a win and get back to the Stanley Cup final, and this time finish the job. This is episode 12 of the San Jose Sharks rebuild. All right, guys, so here is where we are left off. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the Stanley Cup champion in 2026. They swept us in 4 games, and awfully difficult. But even more is now the issue with our cap space and some of the contracts that we have got to sign, because there's a lot of top-end players on our team that we've drafted, traded for, all of that we can no longer use. So first and foremost, Timo Meier, the cover athlete for this series, his age 29 season, is now a UFA at 90 overall. Now, not a particularly huge season for Timo Meier, as he only had 66 points in 82 games, but scoring as a whole was super down for this squad, even though they did make the Stanley Cup final. That being said, he still fits the team really well, and we've got to find a way to get him signed. Now, he wants 9.4, and he is okay with an extension. That being said, he should sign for about $8 million, and if we can get him for $8 million, I'm completely okay with that. So, at 90 overall, at 29 years old, still has a lot more productive years left over, and he's still one of the best left-handed or left wingers in the game. So we'll see if he takes $8 million. That one's scary if he does reject that. But then the next one we've got that's going to be awfully difficult is Matthew Savoie. He was our first-round pick in the 2022 entry draft, 4th overall, as we did not get Shane Wright. We ended up with Matthew Savoie, which I'm completely okay with. And yeah, here we go. He has been phenomenal for us. Again, scoring as a whole was really down for this team, but we've got to keep him on the squad. So he wants $6 million right now. Does want an extension, so we'll see if we can get him on the cheap. At $6 million, we're looking at about 5.2. That would be probably the bare minimum. We're going to go 5.25 because I think that is still a pretty solid amount for 5 years, especially at 22 years of age. Now, he would be a UFA at the end of it. Ooh, so we're going to go 4 years just in case, so that we still have his RFA, one more RFA year. So that's probably the play. We'll keep it the same dollar amount, and we'll see if he accepts it. Now, that right there is about $13 million. We've got $21 million roughly in cap space. The next big issue is Kanayev, who's been phenomenal on the back end, but he wants $5.8 million at 25 years of age, and this is where we might have to make some sacrifices. $5 million might be enough to get it done. I really don't think in free agency we're going to be able to find another defenseman for $5 million. That would really be around an 85 overall. So what we could do is just see if lowering it would do anything. It does not. So he wants 6 years at $5 million. We'll see if he accepts that offer. Those are really the most important right now. So we're going to go ahead and see if those guys do accept, as this is pretty big. Okay, so Timo Meier does not want that amount. We've got to go higher on him, which is a little scary. As well as Kanayev to Savoie, he does not. Okay, I was clear on how long I was willing to stick with the team, but you've chosen to offer something different, so he is not happy. Okay, so we've really got to go basically up to what they ask, and that is much more expensive. So we are legit going to offer $9 million. He should accept $9 million. If he doesn't take that, that's awfully tough. But at 90 overall, like, I don't see how he doesn't. Even if we lower it, that's fine. I want him on the team for the rest of the series, so I'm not really all that upset. Oh, the $6 million. He drops quite a bit when you lower the term. Now, he's an 87 overall. 3 years at 5.7. We can see if he takes this. I don't know. Okay. We'll go ahead and see. These are the two that are really important. We've only got a few more days left in our re-sign phase. Okay. Timo Meier did re-sign, as did Matthew Savoie. So now at least we know. We didn't really save any money on them, but at least we know that we now have them on the squad, and those are the most important. We've got $7.58 million left, $7.5 million left over, and we've got Kanayev and Sillinger, as well as our goaltenders, left on the board still, which is going to be expensive. So Vanashek is still there. Oh, man, what does he want? 5.7 million for Lindbergh. I say there's no, I mean, he had a 906 save percentage, not really worth it. Vanashek was better. Let's just roll the dice on him and sign Goudreau. Does Goudreau want a two-way? He does not, which kind of sucks. We might be able to... okay, so the goaltender situation is going to be tough. On defense, I do not want to lose Kanayev. So if we take a look at our defensemen, we've got Carrier, Merkley on the right side, along with Erik Karlsson, who, again, we cannot get rid of in this series. It's his last year of making $8 million or $11.5 million. So once he's off the books, this becomes much, much easier. Our first-round pick in 2024, third overall, was phenomenal. So Chandler Lotz is a right-handed defenseman, but he has played on the left-hand side with Ferraro and Kanayev. That's the the ultimate goal there. Kanayev did not improve really. He's stuck at 80 overall. However, we could use him if we were to lose Kanayev, because we could just go Ferraro on line 1, Lotz on line 2, and then Kanayev on line 3, which again would be kind of a big hit, but it is what it is, and we'll see if any of the AHL defensemen or anyone else that we've kind of drafted can step up into that position. In terms of forwards, let's take one quick look here. At center, we've got Bedard. We've got a ton of centermen. I mean, honestly, I think that's the one good thing, is that we have so many centermen. We can kind of just mix and match. But Bedard, our franchise center, team leader in scoring. We've got Hurdle that can play right wing. We've got Matthew Savoy. We've got Cody Glass, who's an 86 overall, and Braden Yeager, who we did draft, I believe, yes, 9th overall, is now an 86 overall. And then we've got Shemolevsky and Sillinger. I would love to keep Sillinger, as we traded for him back in season 1, and he's been a really good player, but I mean, I just don't, it all depends on the money he wants. At one point, $1 million for 2 years, like, that's not bad at all. I feel like that's definitely a contract that we can try. If he wants to go for under 2 years or under $2 million, I'm completely okay with that. And if he accepts, then we know what we can offer Kanayev. And then we'll have to worry about goaltending in free agency. Okay, so Sillinger is now re-signed. So now all of the work is now on Kanayev. So we'll go back to defenseman. And Kanayev will offer a contract. He wants $5.8 million. We've got about 6.7 available. So maybe if he takes 5.5, how much does this drop by? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, if he takes 5.5, that leaves us with 1.7 million. A little bit of a flexibility there. And then we'll take a look at some of the other guys. These guys all want one-way deals, probably. Yeah, Ruonanen, he was in the AHL, and the AHL squad did win the Calder Championship, so that's huge. But a lot of these guys are going to want to move up. However, wow, Sean Dursey at 27 years old wants a two-way contract. We're going to try and lock him up there, because that's a huge piece. He's a good depth defenseman. Again, part of the rebuild was making sure the AHL team did kind of grow. Gannon Larocque, who is a great prospect for the Sharks in real life, he wants a two-way deal, so we are going to try and keep him on for 3 more years. And then we've got Allison, who I believe we drafted late. No, sorry, this is a first-round pick in 2024, 25th overall. Julius Allison, he's got an X factor of send it. Two-way defender, is now a 74 overall elite. And I believe we have to sign him now to his entry deal. And we are definitely going to do that because, at 25th overall to get a medium elite defenseman that is now ready to go, we're laughing. We've got a couple other draft picks that are now starting to get close to with the potential spot where they could start to become something. We've got Sylvain Leclerc, who we drafted in the 2nd round last year. We're not going to take him yet, though. We've got Stevenson, not yet. And any other, no one else is expiring, and none of these guys are really going to make the jump at all. So that's among defensemen. In terms of forwards, we'll see who is now going to leave. Our forwards is pretty much going to stay the same, which is kind of nice. Man, Thomas Bordeleau, I can't wait for him in real life. The Sharks are probably one of their best draft picks, obviously, in quite some time, but him and William Eklund are going to be fun to watch in real life. So Scott Reedy, who should be really good in the NHL this year as well, he does not want a one-way deal, and I do not want to offer him a two-way for that because, we just need all the cap space we can possibly get. Timur Ibrahimov, who was a 6th-rounder for us in 2019. Does he fit anywhere? How much does he want? Is he a two-way deal? It is a two-way deal, and you know what? We'll give him $1 more million to stay for 3 years, and we're completely okay with that. So we've got David Gustafson, who was a second-round pick in 2018. We acquired. Does want a two-way, I believe. So we are good to offer that. We'll do another 3. Keeping these guys for 3 years so that we don't have to do this every offseason is pretty solid. So there we go. Jasper Weatherby. What do we want to do with Jasper Weatherby? Same situation. Might as well. Let him cook in the AHL. Let him have that's their team. Pano Femus from the Ice Dogs. I hope, man, he did not get drafted this year, which I'm stunned about. I'm excited to see how he plays in the OHL in real life. In the AHL again, and then any other prospects. So we've got Stanislav Kravchenko, we got in the 3rd round last year. He is a low top 6, 18 years old. We've got Frederick Oberg, who we took at 27 in the 1st round this year. No reason to sign him. A couple other guys. Is there any expiring? It does not look like it, so that's pretty much it. And then we'll take a look at goaltenders. And yeah, we've got Lindbergh and then Goudreau, who wants to... Man, he does not want a two-way deal, which is tough. I mean... I'm gonna see if he takes a two-way $1 million deal. I doubt it. I do not want to give him a one-way, again, just because of the contract hit. So here we go. We'll see. All right, here we go. Let's see. We need some re-signs here. Come on, let's see if the boys will stick with the squad. Jasper Weatherby does re-sign. David Gustafson also does. Sean Dursey. So the AHL squad that just won the Calder is in good hands. Kanayev does not want to do it. Okay, that is tough. Ibrahimov, he does sign. Goudreau does not. He's going to test free agency. That's fine. Gannon the Rock does, he resigns. Julius Allison takes his rookie contract. And now we've got one more shot here at Kanayev with a $6.7 million cap hit. I feel like the issue is our left-handed side, Ferraro, and then Kanayev, and then Lotz. Obviously, Lotz is good. Where does he fit on the squad? Because Kanayev would then fall into the AHL more than likely. Or maybe even Lotz could. He's on his entry-level deal. No, that Erik Karlsson contract is the real issue. It is the real issue here. You know what? Let's deal with it later. Let's offer the contract at 5.8. That's what he wants. If he doesn't take that, whatever. We've got about $1 million in cap space. I really don't want to lose Goudreau either. Let's just qualify him, deal with it later. And yeah, we can say goodbye to Lindbergh. He didn't win us a cup, and that was awfully tough. His numbers weren't all that great. So here we go. Let's see what we got. One of our coaches re-signed, as well as some of the renewals for some of our better scouts. You guys want to make sure that you're signing the scouts that are A's and B's. The C's and whatnot, you can kind of just churn over until you can find some better ones throughout the franchise mode. That way you have a little bit better. Oh, it was an easy decision for Kanayev to actually re-sign. Funny you say that. Okay, well, there that goes, as one of the scouts did not re-sign, so that's okay because we did not need him. All right, so let's take a look at all regions. Is there any A or B scouts that we could put? There is one for Europe, as well as USA, Russia. Okay, so Europe, USA, and Russia. We'll take a look at that, about what we've got, and see how that goes. As right now, our coaching staff has been really good. I mean, like, you can't be upset with that. What's our European section look like? So we're looking at like SHL, for example, the DL, NLA, Extraliga, and Ice. So we're looking at, there just really wasn't any the prior year. So like Malik is a C minus. So we could kind of get rid of him because there's just really no need. Same with NLA. Is NLA? Yeah. So NLA and Extraliga, that's a C. So we can get rid of Malik. It's probably the play. And then we can just kind of upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll skip forward. Okay, guys. So we are now at free agency. We'll take a look at how the free agency market looks here in 2026. We'll sort by overall. And Artemi Panarin is a free agent wanting $11.4 million. And my God, if we just did not have that Erik Karlsson contract, this would be such an easy signing. And man, Anthony Chiarelli, at 28 years of age, is now at 91 overall, and he only wants $8.6 million. That's a solid amount. We've got Matvei Michkov, who hits the free agent market. Oh my goodness. drafted by Calgary. He fell to number 3 in that year. We got Connor Bedard, and he wants $11 million. And that's going to require, that's an RFA status too. I don't know how we would even pull that off, but man, getting him with Bedard would be, is that even a potential? Okay, hang on. Let's just take a look. Let's see what we can do. Okay, for this to work, we've literally have to get rid of Timo Meier, which is who Michkov would replace, but I still don't, it'd be close. It would be close if we got rid of Timo Meier, but I am not in a position. No, I got to stick to my guns. Timo Meier is our cover athlete for the series. We can't do that to my boy. He has got to stay. So yeah, we are going to make sure that, oh, man, that would be so much fun. And I don't even know if we'd be able to get him because Calgary probably matches that offer. We've got Ryan O'Reilly, who wants $7.6 million. We've got Travis Sanheim. What about any high overalls? Sorry, I'm just taking a look here. Murphy, 88 overall on a right defenseman that only wants 5.7. Some of these contracts are pretty cheap in comparison to prior years. Brad Lambert, who looks like he just fell so much in the real NHL. So Daniil Yurov, who was just drafted this year. Nishushkin at 3.5 million is nice as well, but I mean, we really need goaltending. Kemper at 89 overall won 7.7. There's no way we'd be able to clear up 5.8 million. Any of the cheap goaltender options, there really isn't, as Drieger is probably it. And that is obviously not who we want to roll into the game with. And we might have to... Ilya Sorokin. What happened here? 30 years of age. Now an 80 overall fringe starter. I mean... He's not going to grow at all, obviously, at 30 years of age. Braden Holtz, he's 22. He's a medium fringe starter, though. Like, he's not going to really move up at all. Man, the goaltending situation, we might have to look elsewhere. We legit might have to just trade. As I don't know how we're going to make that work. Man, we could take on a risk because we're going to lose Carlson's contract next year. Jordan Kyrou is on such a nice team-friendly deal. He's a free agent. Bordelot and Weisblatt are going to have to be re-signed, and they're obviously going to want a pretty big bump and increase, but that's really it. Like, I don't know how much else. There's really not much else that's got to be re-signed here, so, you know, the goaltending situation is tough, though. It is definitely going to be difficult. We would have to find a goaltender. I really wish one of the draft picks would have just kind of became one, but we really didn't go after any. So we really just need an AHL level defenseman and a goaltender. So we should probably just cover our basis and grab a goalie. Dude, Thatcher Demko wants $12 million. Like, how are you going to win a cup with that? I just don't see how. Man, a low elite with Dustin Wolf wants $6 million. He's 25, though. He's really not going to grow much more. Yeah, I just don't see the upside there. So we've got to go with someone like Jonas Korpisalo. Had a 915 save percentage last year. What did Drieger have? 909. Aiden Hill, 919 in 22 games played. Do we bring Aiden Hill back to the Sharks? Probably not what we want to do. So we're going to try Korpisalo and see if he takes it. I feel like there's no way that he wouldn't. Maybe a 1-year deal and just do 1.5. Saves us some cap space. I feel like that's probably a good play. And then let's just find a defenseman that's a 2-way, just in case it has some depth. See if we can find a top 4. This is how you can find some sneaky deals here. A 23-year-old that's low top 4. And Daniil Chayka is a solid move. The second rounder from 2021. I feel like that's not a bad signing at all for us. I feel like that's who we're going to go after here. Can we get a couple more years? We can. We'll take that for sure. Is there any other forwards that maybe fell and didn't get re-signed? Let's see. We've got low top 6. Any young players? We've got Jamison Camilleri, 70 overall. A third rounder from the Arizona Coyotes. Didn't want to sign there. 6'2", 70 overall at 19 years of age, is a low top 6. We have so many forwards already, so it just really isn't worth it. But I don't see anyone else. So any other goaltenders? Maybe there's a goalie that fell in the draft. We've got a medium starter, a 7th rounder from the Bruins. Wow, not bad at all. We've also got Olaf Lindblom, 67 overall at 20 years of age, or Levi Marilainen. He's 23. Couple of options here. No, there's no point because Goudreau is still available, so we'll wait and see. All right, do we get our free agents? As we do get some of the scouts that we were looking for, which is nice. There we go, which is key because we did upgrade our scouts. All these guys that we signed are better overalls for us, as we've got a trade for Erik Karlsson that involves Igor Shesterkin. Oh my God, I hate the rules of this series. However, he's only an 86 overall now at 30 years of age, which feels like a mistake. But oh my goodness, that would be so nice to get rid of Erik Karlsson for Igor Shesterkin. But no, we cannot move him. He's got to retire, or the contract, which has to end, which will end next season, as Korpisalo does sign, as well as Daniil Chika. And that really finishes up our moves here for the summer. I mean, we can go out and trade for a goaltender. I just don't know who would be available if we go and take a quick look at just goaltenders, as it's way too expensive to grab, man, Lucas Dostal, 85 overall, low starter at 86, and he's on a 1.4 with no, man, this would be a solid get, as our low elite or high elite that we signed or we drafted back in 2023, Danny O'Sullivan, is slowly starting to become something, and I don't think giving up on him right now would be the play. However, is there any other players? Maybe a draft pick? We've got 2 seconds next year, as well as a third. What if we just move our 2/3? That would be huge. It does get rejected. Is there any other forwards that we just can't use, really? Get down in this mid-range here. Like Raska, we really can't use. There's so many other players that we're probably going to use here. If we move Adam Raska, and that is accepted. Okay, so after just quickly taking a look, we just figured out our goaltending issue, and man, things are looking way up here, which we love. So we're just going to fix the trading block real quick so the offers coming in are not really super annoying. And we'll see what we can get at least. I mean, there isn't really a lot that I want to do because there isn't really any players that we want to get rid of. I mean, yeah, even Valery Vishnevsky, who's a top 6, medium top 6 is 79 overall as a 20-year-old is kind of huge. He was our first rounder in he was a first rounder in 2024 from the Detroit Red Wings. I forgot we got him. Not a bad deal at all. Frederick Oberg, who was our first round pick this year, 27th overall, is a low elite at 65. That's just so far away. Yeah, I just don't really feel like there's need for it to move anything. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the season, guys, and get ready for year number 6. So we held out and we offered Gaudreau a 2-year deal on a 2-way contract, and he accepted. So, man, bad marks for his agent, as we got everything that we wanted there out of that. We still have $500K in cap space, so we are right up against it. I'm excited to see how the roster shakes out because the team should be absolutely stacked this year. All right, now entering this year, we have no Logan Couture. We've got to figure out what to do with the captaincy, and in my opinion, there's a couple of options. Obviously, Bedard is our leader on forward. We've got Bordelot, Savoy, Sillinger, Eklund, but really the only one that I'm really seeing for captain would be Mario Ferraro. So we are going to give him the captaincy, as I actually think that he is going to be the captain of the San Jose Sharks pretty shortly in real life once Couture's gone. But Hertl is going to get the A, and then Merkley is definitely not going to have a letter. It's probably Erik Karlsson as we kind of mess around with things. It's still Erik Karlsson. I think one more year of him, and that kind of makes the most amount of sense. All right, let's take a look at our lines, and man, that's a lot of +5s. Timo Meier, Connor Bedard, and Jordan Kyrou, all +5. We've got Tomas Hertl on the right wing with Matthew Savoy and William Eklund, which gets a +5. Ivan Kulemin, Braden Yager, and Victor Eklund, our first-round pick into 2025, they get a +5. And then our fourth line of Thomas Bordelot, Cody Glass, and Ozzy Weisblatt, rounding up the third line, they get no plus-minus there, but they are just really high rated. This is easily the best Sharks team that we have iced, I think, so far in this series. On defense, we've got Artemi Kanayev with Alexander Carrier, Ryan Merkley, and Chandler Lotz, as he is a right and left defenseman. So we're going to go like this and put Karlsson on his actual side. And it is his last year. If we switch this up, we can get Mario Ferraro down here. Actually, if we go like this, we get a +5 for Mario Ferraro and Carrier, which is what I want to do. And man, I'm really, really excited about this team, as this is by far, we've got Lucas Dostal as our starter. Man, I can't wait to see how this team sims. It's probably going to be awful just based on prior, experiences. But on the power play, we've got Timo Meyer, Savoy, and Eklund, then Erik Karlsson and Bedard rounding it out. I kind of want to go like this and put, what if we switch Savoy out there and we put Jaeger over here? Is there any way he does not fit at all? I wonder who we could put here. Wait, Merkley? Perfect. All right, so we've got Victor Eklund at the point with Ryan Merkley, Ivan Kulemin, Savoy, and Hurdle. We don't have Kyrou there, however, though. Let's put Kyrou up here and see how he fits. And they still remain a +5, so that's solid there. Everyone's on their off wing, which I like. On the penalty kill, Braden Yeager, William Eklund, Erik Karlsson, and Mario Ferraro is a +5. Wonder if I switch these. That's probably played with Carrier up there. Then we've got Chandler Lotz and Karlsson. I'd rather not have Karlsson on the back end there, but he's probably better than Kanayev, so that's fine. And then... yeah, man, I'm really liking this team. I don't see any downfalls. We'll go to the PK. Even the three-man PK is solid. So in terms of scratch players, we've got Shemilevsky and Sillinger. We still can't fit them in. Okay. I love Bordelot in real life, which is the issue. I do not want to get rid of Bordelot, and I don't see how unless I put Bordelot up where, like, if we go like that, but then we'll obviously make the second line a little bit worse, but... I don't know. I feel like that's just my bias kicking in. Ozzy Weisblatt, like, I'm cool with moving on from him. Shemilevsky, we should probably trade. Shemilevsky, I mean, he's 27. He's not going to grow anymore. Does fit the second line, but he's never going to crack that second line. Sillinger kind of fits everywhere, though, and he could still grow a little bit. I wonder if there's some options where we move on from Kyrou and just put, like, I wonder what Sillinger there would be like. Interesting. Bordelot's 24, and I feel like him having that, like, there's no reason to have him there if he's just not gonna play. But so is Sillinger. Like, these guys will still grow, so maybe what we do is go Shemilevsky here, and then what we can do is kind of put those two in the AHL, just move them down if we can before the season starts, which I believe we should be able to. Put Bordelot down, and we put Sillinger down, and then the AHL roster should be absolutely stacked senseless. And we should be laughing. All right, so in the AHL, Lane Peterson's a 76 overall. We can move on from him, and we can make Sillinger up on the top. Is there any other guys that are kind of aged out here? As these are all younger players. Arthur Kayamov is not going to become anything, and he really fits the first line. Daniil Gushkin, I am not going to get rid of. Same with Braden Lamb's a low elite, so we should probably really keep him. So let's move on from Kayamov, and we'll put Bordelot in. So now we've got Bordelot with Sillinger, and we could probably just leave them. No, Bordelot fits the second line better. So now let's mess around with this and see if we can get any better player fits. All right, so I think that forward core was Sillinger and Bordelot in the AHL, and then we've got Nikolai Knizhov, Dursey, Topi Nimila. Is he going to become anything? I don't think he will, but, it is what it is. Gannon Larocque, and then Santeri Hadaka. Who is scratched? Daniil Chayka's scratched, as well as Allison. We need Julius Allison to play, so we are going to scratch Sean Dursey. We did just re-sign, but there's no reason why Allison should not play, as he's a medium elite and he's ready to make the next step, and I am ready there. So in nets, Korpisalo and Goudreau. We got to move Korpisalo, I think. I know we just signed him for that one-year deal, but I did not anticipate that move. So there are some players that we should move on from. So in particular, let's take a look. We are going to move on from Zach Sawchenko, we can trade. Kayamov, we can trade. Lane Peterson, we can trade. Dursey, we can trade. So Kayamov, Dursey, Peterson, Sawchenko. Let's go ahead and trade them because there's no reason to have them on the team anymore. Might as well be able to maybe get some assets back, and maybe even some picks. So Lane Peterson does not really have much value. I believe Jersey doesn't either, so let's just see if we can find someone who would want Peterson. I don't think there'll be anyone, so we might just have to take whatever pick we can get as I go through here, and it does not look like anyone wants to grab him, so let's see if Lane Peterson would go to the Florida Panthers. Why not? We've had some decent picks with them. Is there any skaters? Nah, we want draft picks. Might as well try and get a draft pick back. They're okay with moving it a fourth. We might be able to get a third for Peterson. That's pretty close. Let's see. Bang. We love that. Okay, he wasn't going to play on our AHL team, and he wasn't a part of the future, so we might as well move on, and that worked out perfectly. On to our next issue, which is going to be... I believe it's Jersey, so we'll go through again and see if anyone wants Jersey. That would maximize our return, but I doubt we have anyone. We do not, so let's go with the Islanders. Lou Lamoriello loves a good gritty defenseman, and they don't have any picks. What about third round pick from the Rangers, maybe? The Rangers would have more than 45 picks, so that's not going to work. All right. The Ottawa Senators. They want to move some picks. They would have more than 45 in the... Okay, so I think the Flyers would be all right. Third rounder here. And... rejected. Let's try fourth. And we get that done. So there we go. We're moving right along here. So Kayamov and Weatherby, literally, they're just not wanted at all. And maybe we just keep them as depth. We do need to move Korpisalo, though, as I was not anticipating that deal. So bad on me to sign someone and get rid of. Oh, Sachenko. Sachenko and Korpisalo have to go. I wonder if we can get them both gone. Probably not. Let's see. Any cool rookie skaters, maybe? We don't need any more. Let's look at draft picks. Maybe the third? No, there's no way we can get a second, right? What if we included a pick to go back, like a fourth? Let's try this. I did not want to do that. I don't want to move a third. Really no point in that. What about 2/4? Bang. Okay. We have done all of the moves that we need to do. So let's finish this up. Set our team, and then we're just going to straight sim all the way to the playoffs because this team is obviously one of the better ones that we are ever going to have. We'll have Goudreau be the starter here, and in the NHL, perfect. Starting lineup is just absolutely loaded. Victor Eklund. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's see how he does. Okay, here we go, boys. Let's go ahead and sim to January and see where we end up. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to sim through to about January and see where the team is like we always do. Here we go. All right, so we are in January 1st to be exact, and we're somehow tied for first in the Pacific Divisions with the Flames and the Kraken. We all have 47 points. We'll take a look at the team, and Connor Bedard finally over a point per game as he is our leading scorer at 41 points in 37 games. Meyer right behind him with 40, and then Tomas Hertl, kind of a big drop-off, 32 points in 37 games. Savoy's got 28. Alexander Carrier leading the back end, 22 points in 37 games. William Eklund's got 20 in 37. So kind of a disappointing, just from a depth standpoint. Not a ton of offense back there. We'll take a look at our goaltending situation. And Dostal's got a 908 save percentage. And there's Vanacek with a 924. And honestly, just a little tough to see because, you know, our team is so good, but the wins are there. We'll take a look at the skaters in terms of the point leaders. Nathan McKinnon's got 53 and 38. So Bedard is quite a ways away. So that is kind of tough in terms of defensemen. Adam Fox is leading the way at 42 points in 35 games. There's no defenseman there that we can have a possible Norris candidate. JC Tuzolino is leading the rookie skater races. He's got 21 points in 36 games. And our boy Victor Eklund has 16 points in 37 games. He's still within striking distance, so we might be able to get a Calder nominee. We'll have to wait and see. And just for the sake of it, I am going to move Victor Eklund up to play with his brother, William, as we're just deeming that to be the case. Victor Eklund's going to play with William on the same line with Savoy, just to see if we can spark things. Kyrou, Yager, and Kuhlman still get that +5. And then we've got Weisbat and Shemilevsky. The AHL team is 25, 5, and 9. Which is kind of what I anticipated with Valery Vishnevsky leading the way with 32 points in 34 games. Then we've got Sillinger with 29 and 34. Vyacheslav Artukin, who is our 4th rounder from 2023, with Ibrahimov, and then Bordeleau down there. In nets, let's take a look at the goaltenders. As, Bordeleau's doing great. Danny O'Sullivan, though, who I think is our goaltender of the future. But in the AHL, I don't know. We're going to have to figure out what to do with Vanashek because Dostal's just not playing that well in terms of stats. But, we'll take a look at, real quick at the draft class, as we always do, as Cody Belfour. And he plays for the Portland Winterhawks, so it looks like the Eagle up there, which is kind of fitting. He's an offensive defenseman. We really don't need a defenseman, though. I mean, I guess we do. I guess defense is where we need it, to be honest with you. Is he a left-handed defenseman? He is. We're not going to draft first overall, though. There's not that many elites at the top. Oh, there is a bunch sprinkled in the middle, though, and that's where we're probably going to be. Wow, there's actually a lot of elites through here. Wow, this might actually be a pretty good draft class for us because we are obviously going to draft near the bottom and looking for a defenseman and maybe a goaltender. So I'll go ahead and reset the scouts and see if we can't get a leg up on the on scouting for the draft. All right, guys, so here we go. We're going to sim all the way up till about the deadline and see where we are at. So let's go ahead and go to the deadline. All right, guys, here we are at the deadline. We are in first place. We're 3 points up on the Calgary Flames and 5 points up on the Oilers. The Kraken have 74, so, I mean, that's a stacked division in the Pacific now. Connor Bedard leading the way with 66 points in 63 games, so it is nice to have a point-per-game player. Timo Meier, 56 in 63. Tomas Hertl with 51 in 63. We've got Savoy, Eklund, and Victor Eklund now with 32 in 63, so he is starting to increase production, and he is up to an 82 overall. Our highest scoring defenseman is still Carrier with 38 in 63. Take a look now in nets. And Dostal up to a 914 save percentage, which is a little bit better to stomach. But Vanashek is still playing much better at 920. Maybe we give him a run for just a little while. We'll take a look if we have a real shot at any of the trophies. The entire league, 82 points for Max Pacioretty at 38 years old. Sure, okay, Kaprizov makes a little bit more sense, but yeah, we are way down. Bedard here at about 10th to 15th, really no shot there, as he is our leading scorer as well, I believe, and he's got about 25 goals, so yeah, we're not really anywhere close there. What about in terms of defensemen? As Aaron Ekblad has 69 points in 60 games. That's wild. So we're way back at that. And then rookie skaters, Eklund's moved up a little bit. 32 points. He's 7 back of Tuzolino of the Vegas Golden Knights, as well as Robert Peterson and Nikita Chibrikov from the Winnipeg Jets. So we're still in the running there. But in terms of just like what are we trying to acquire, I don't even know. We'll take a look at our lines right now. We have really no cap room. Our lines, I mean, I think things are going absolutely according to plan. Although this second line, now that I look at it, +3, man, I'm wondering if we can we switch Timo? We could go like this, load up with Timo, Eklund, and Bedard. Everything stays the same here with Tomas Hertl. Faceoffs are a 90. We could put Savoy on the wing, I guess. No, there's no real point to that. And then Ivan Kulemin with Braden Yeager. Our third line's producing quite well. And the fourth line is, again, still extremely good. On defense, we've got Mario Ferraro and Alexander Carrier. I kind of wouldn't mind. How many more years? The problem with Carrier is he's 89 overall at 30 years of age. We've got 4 more years left, but it's a $6 million contract. We're not going to find anywhere close to that value. Like $6 million basically for Ryan Merkley, and he's an 87 overall medium elite, and he's probably not going to go up anymore. Erik Karlsson is down to a 79. So what my thinking is that going into next year, when Karlsson is now finally off the team, unless we win the Stanley Cup, obviously, we could then go out and just sign an absolute stud defenseman, because I think that's really what we're lacking. Although Chandler Lotz is playing really well as a 20-year-old, he's already up to an 85, so that might be what we're at already. Let's take a look at the AHL, who's having a record-breaking season. 47, 11, and 5, and Artukin is now the leading scorer at 54 points for us. We've got Vishnevsky at 50, Ibrahimov with 46, Sillinger and Bordeleau there. I mean, this team is absolutely stacked. In terms of the AHL, just real quick, let's see if we're dominating any of the trophies there. Evgeny Malkin at 40 years of age, has 69 points in 61 games. I guess that's one thing you forget about, is that there could be some old legends that get it to the AHL. I'm assuming he's retiring after this year. But Vyacheslav Artukin, he's not really within striking distance. Malkin's just running away with this. In terms of defensemen, we don't really have anyone. I don't believe that's anywhere close. Alex Pietrangelo at 37s in the AHL. Love to see that. And in terms of goaltenders, Bordelot has the number one win. Man, Bordelot's having a season. 9.25 save percentage, 1.79 goals against, and 36 wins. That's simply incredible. So yeah, unbelievable there. All right, let's go ahead. I mean, the only thing I can think of is just to move out anyone else. Like, who's scratched? No one's scratched here. Gustafsson, Shako, Robbins, Kayamov, and Hameliuk, who's 26. He's not going to grow anymore, so we might as well move on from these three, as well as Gustafsson, and just see if we can get any picks for them, because obviously, like, in terms of NHLers that are expiring, do we have any that are expiring that, like, we could think about moving and then calling up Bordelot? I don't believe so. Everyone else is still on a year deal. Like, everyone, yeah, I mean, Kyrou, but Kyrou what does Kyrou want as an extension? That's one thing to think about, because he's so cheap right now at 85 overall. Like, I wouldn't mind moving on from him, but he's so cheap. So if he only wants 3.1 million. Oh my goodness, I feel like that's just too good of a deal. Like 3.15, we're looking at 2.7 he might take for 3 years. I mean, there's no way we don't try and get him on that. That is just such a good deal. And the only other one would be Ozzy Weisblatt, and he wants even 1.575 isn't bad. Erik Karlsson's gone. And then, what about in the system here? Bordelot wants to be re-signed. That's kind of cheap as well. We could go, he's 25 years of age. I really don't want to get rid of Bordelot. Just, again, that's my own thing. But if we're going to re-sign him to an extension, we might as well. And he might take a pay cut. Let's see. Maybe we get him for $1 million? Let's see. Maybe we can get him for $1 million. I'd take that. Phillips is gone. Mason Millman. What does he want? He wants a two-way deal. We take those for sure, as well as Larmond. He is almost an 80 overall. He wants a two-way deal. We give all these guys out. Panofemis, does he want? Yep. We take these guys that want two-way deals, and that way we've locked up everyone we need to lock up. Santeri Hadaka, who is still playing for us. Okay. Anyone else? Hameliuk we're going to get rid of. Same with Robbins. Robbins just isn't going to become anything, so we might as well move on from Robbins as well. And then, yeah, there's nothing else there. In terms of goaltenders, those are all signed. The main roster, those are all signed. What does Vanashek want? Oh my goodness, he might take an 800. I mean, that's basically our entire offseason done. Let's take a look. Vanashek resigns, and I hope everyone resigns before the deadline. Man, Kyrou on that super team-friendly deal. Hadaka, Femis, Larmond, Bordelot, Millman. Wow, that went perfect. So let's take a look at who is available at the trade deadline. We have got Pierre-Luc Dubois. Wow, 91 overall. That would be a solid player to have, but there's just really no way that we could do that. Adam Pelech's got 3 years left, 89 overall, $5.75 million. That's just a solid contract. And we can... that would be a huge get. Like, but who is the left-handed defenseman we're moving on from? Because we have Allison coming too. So we have got Carrier's right-handed, Merkley who's right-handed, Lotz who is also right-handed, but he plays left side. We've got Kanayev and Ferraro, and then we've got Carlson. Now, obviously, we can't put Carlson off the team, but we could scratch him and just eat that cap hit as, wow, Jonas Brodin. What is Jonas Brodin rated? An 89 overall. Yeah, he's 33. How much is left? 2 years remaining at $6 million. Left-handed. That's a lot, though. Allison's going to be a very good defenseman, so. But, man, Pelech at 32 is... These defensemen are quite old. We got a trade here. I'm just hoping they don't get traded. Riley. These are all pretty expensive defensemen. I wouldn't mind Pelech. Is a left-handed defenseman. Does he fit the team? This will be interesting. All defensive pairings. Okay, we've got to try to acquire him. All right. We've got 3 second-round picks. There's no way it's that easy, right? There's no way it's that easy, right? He is going to crater in terms of his rating probably very shortly, but all right, let's see if this works. That's rejected. I feel like it's close, though, as the Islanders made a trade. Okay, they didn't trade him. Wow, that was close. Our entire middle portion of our draft? Man, they just do not want picks now. Okay, let's take a look at our skaters that we could move out. Wisniewski. Valery Wisniewski, is he going to fit? He could fit the NHL. Man, there's a lot of moving parts here. Do I move my first round pick for him? I feel like we got to go for it. We got to go for it this year. I think that that's probably the play. If we move our first round pick, they just don't want any of this is the issue. As now Pelech is off the market, so we kind of missed out on him. We can go with Taves, but he's at 4 more years. Maybe Brodin is the play. 2 years left. Let's try Brodin. He is older, but let's see. They do want more picks, so maybe we can just include our seconds. Maybe 2 seconds and a third. It's probably going to require all of our seconds. This would be a huge get for us. Wow, they do not want... Man, do we have to go all in? Do we go with our first round pick? First and a second. First and 2 seconds. Does not get it done. First 2 seconds and a third. It gets done. All right. All right. That was a lot. I'm not a huge fan of what we had to give up, but good Lord, we finally got that done. Now let's take a look at, okay, Hamiluk, Kayumov, and Robbins all need to be traded. And I wonder if we can get even a 3rd round pick back. I doubt maybe a 4th. No one else wants these guys, right? No, maybe a 3rd. I doubt it. Maybe try a 4th. See if we can get these 3 guys for a 5th round pick. We cannot. Wow. Okay. So we're just going to sit on that. That's fine. We got our big trade deadline day acquisition in Jonas Brodin, and man, I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll see just how it goes as Arnaud Durando. What's he look like? An 80 overall, 28 overall, top 9. Wow, really? I feel like sure. Okay. All right, let's take a look now. All right, Carlson, by rules of the series, Carlson is still on the squad. But Brodin is going to be in. We're taking the cap hit. And we're going to switch him with Lotz, who's now, he gets to play on his actual side. And man, that first pairing looks much better, actually. Yeah, we'll go like that. Okay, I'm feeling much better about that first pairing now. We've got no draft, which is okay. The forward core is stacked. We are ready for a run. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So we are going to sim to the end of the season, and hopefully we've got, President's Trophy locked up. Let's go. Here we go. Okay, so we finish the season 51, 27, and 4, and we eke out the Pacific Division by 1 point. Get this. The Oilers and Flames both have 104 points. Kraken down at 88. The Avalanche have 106, and it looks like we might have wrapped up... Man, the Maple Leafs with 110 points, reigning Stanley Cup champion. So it looks like we wrapped up the Western Conference. We'll take a look at how our stats did. Connor Bedard just missing out on his point-per-game season, as again, the offense just isn't. It's just not it. We'll take a look at his career stats now, as he's played 4 full seasons in the NHL. He did set career highs in points with 81. He did tie a career high in goals with 34, but obviously a much better, his best ever in terms of the NHL, in terms of points, so can't be upset with that. We got Timo Meier, who had a bounce-back season. Last year he had 50 points and was a -5. He's got 70 points there, so can't complain about that. Timo Meier still a 90 overall. We've got Matthew Savoy with 65, William Eklund with 55, Carrier at 44, Merkley at 42, and Eklund only with 39, so he did not have a good finish to the season. We'll take a look at all the rest of the awards afterwards. The playoff tree is about to get set. In the AHL, we absolutely dominated, 58, 18, and 6. And, we ran away with that, which is not really any surprise. So who are we going to play in the first round? It will be the Chicago Blackhawks. 42, 39, and 9. Obviously, we had the much better season than the Chicago Blackhawks. We've got an absolute stacked top 9. Even our fourth line is phenomenal. And then we've got Jonas Brodin, who did not have that great of a... did he? Let's take a look. Yeah, he's not bad. Everything is great. Like, I don't see where, wow, what happened here? Oh, that'd be his playoff stats. Okay, I was going to say, as Dostal is our first-year goaltender, first year playing for us. So, all right, guys, in the next episode, we are going to take on our 6th year, our 6th playoff run, see if we can get back to the Stanley Cup Final for a 3rd time in 6 seasons. Guys, thank you for watching this entire series, and we'll be back next episode with our playoff run. See you then.